Hello and welcome back. In the previous lecture, we understand about managing updates for virtual machines within the Microsoft Azure cloud. And in this lecture, we will be demonstrating how to configure the steps as a step-by-step and how to push the patches for the different operating systems. So let's begin with that. I do have here a few of the virtual machines has been already created. Let me show you some of them. So I'll just go to the virtual machines and you see here some of them already there, and I will be also creating as in required some more virtual machines like server 5, server 6 or some other Linux boxes as part of this demo, but I will be not just cutting that part how to create section, but rest of the part will be the same. So now once we have the virtual machines, if you just go to any of the virtual machine and under operations, if you see here before we go to the operations, under operating system, you see here it's the Windows Server 2019 data center and it is into West US 2 and the resource group is UDV. Now let's go to the operations. Under operations, update management. So this is where you need to go, update management, and then once you click on it, you would be getting a small window where you need to fill the values. So the values are specific to the log analytics specific and also for the automation account. So in my case, I have already created log analytics services as part of other demo. That's why it is completely grayed out. I cannot change here any value. But whereas for the automation account, I can actually edit here. That's why it is coming as the automation account, because I didn't work with the automation account. So if you get as the drop down list, that's fine. So all you have to do is click on enable. That would automatically creates for you log analytics services here as well as the automation account. So both gets automatically created for you, and it will be provisioned for you when you click on this enable button. So I just hit an enable button and I'll be waiting for a minute. In the interest of the time saving, I just paused and continued. You see here, so it might take 15 minutes time to complete the wizard, or in the background the installation of the deployment to be successful. So in my case, deployment is successful. I can simply close it. Oops, this is the very long queue which is not related to this. This is the 4 hours. If you see here, it was a previous notice which is coming up. That's fine. I'll just close that, and you see here I was able to see here like what are the update names which are missing, and also based on the classification and the published date, and also I get the KB information. And if you see here, this is for the missing updates and this is for the deployment schedules. So what it means is when you find the missing updates, you would actually use this button to update. That's the schedule. So once the schedule is happened, it comes under this tab as it will be listed so and so time it's gonna deploy. That information will be there. So the wizard output will be saved into this specific tab, and then the success of the installation or failure of the installation called history, that will be showing here. So that's a demo. So that's what we're going to try in a minute. So let me again run here. If you are trying to configure on multiple machines at once, all you have to do is you have to click on this button, which is the automation account. So if you just go to the automation account to manage, you will be getting all the machine specific updates, similar view. All you have to do is again do the same thing like missing and the scheduling, and that goes to the deployment from there to here. So we're going to do that in a minute or so, but let's understand more about within this tab what kind of options we have. So here pretty much good. I have almost explained everything here, so I'll just click on one of the update. So what happens is when I click on that update, it actually taking me for the log analytics services. So log analytics services will have a query where I can actually run and I can find out more information on it. So these are the other built-in queries what you have already available. available. And now here I have already created a server 05 as the machine. If you see here, this is completely a different region, ECS, and different resource group also. That means since it's a completely different region, if I at all enabled automation account or log analytics services specific for the managing updates, it will create another automation account. So let's go ahead and configure this specific setting. So I'll just click on server 05 and then I'll just go to my operations and then update management, and you see here this time I would be getting a different values. In the previous server, when we try to enable, we got it here as the drop down list was completely grayed out, because in that specific region I had already a log analytics service which was created as part of my other demo, which is security center specific, if I'm correctly remember. um, in this case, in this region it's not there, so I can choose here the which region I can put this log analytics services, but I'm fine to go with this existing location. And then if you see here, the automation account is completely grayed out because one automation account is more than enough for the entire subscription, and it's gonna work. So I'll just click on enable. This would actually runs in the background for the deployment will be initiated, and which will take another 15 minutes to complete the process. Once it is completed, I will be able to see the missing updates, but at the same time, you see it's completed now, and at the same time I should be able to see two different automation icons. So let me show you here, and I have one from the ECS 2 and WESUS 2, both were there now, and the different name difference is ESU and WS2, and that's what the major difference. Now if I just click on one of the account and go to overview, here if there are any kind of jobs has been already completed, I would be getting like patch deployment, other things. Otherwise I don't get anything. Now let's go to the update management. I should be able to see one server within the subscription, 1 out of 1, which is server 02, and it's clear that post to the machine name, I'm able to see also missing updates. These are the missing updates. I can filter if I want. I can go for the classification, also do the filter, but the classification also showing here, and number of machines which are missing. That's what I said. If you're trying to work with the from the automation account, you would be getting number of machines if at all you enable these specific settings, and the KB number and the operating system. So once you have all these done, like in the deployment schedules, if at all you have already configured deployment schedules, these it will be listed. In a minute we are going to do that, and there's no history of the success or failure for these. So let me search for the automation account once again, and let's see what other servers are listed. I should be able to see even my Linux as well as the other server, Windows server, in one of the automation account. You see here, here I have the one server with the Windows operating system, other one is a Linux, and Linux is already compliant, and but Windows server is not. So I would actually deploy the patches for this. So you see here I do have the two accounts, so I'm just clicking on the other account. So I think that's the same account which I clicked on. No, that's the other account. So here also I'm able to see that I'm still missing some of the patches, close to 4 different patches, or 5 different patches. So I'll just have to click on that schedule button, and then I need to enter here the deployment name. So it can be a monthly update or whatever the meaningful name. And if you're trying to deploy for Linux, you have to select this option. Otherwise, Windows means like here. And you can also filter here. If you see here, Azure and non-Azure, this is for the on-premises, and that's a hybrid especially. And in our case, for the Azure specific, you do have here the subscription can be. So in my case I have one subscription, and I can filter if I want based on the resource groups and the location and other tax information, but I don't want to do that, so I'll just filter with one subscription. So entire one subscription, whatever the machines are there, that's the top filter. So next funnel would be the click here to configure, where I can select the machine. So I can search here based on this search type. So the search type I can take it here. So let me go back to search type and then choose as a virtual machine there, so that what happens is I can add that specific virtual machine directly. So click on watch machines and it will be listed. So just click on that, it will get added to the selected item and click OK. That would actually include the machine. So what we have done so far, we have actually filtered as the subscription, and from there to now the machine. So it's the funnel is getting closer and closer. That's how you're going to design. Now let's click on the classification, one more funnel. So here the classification you can choose only 4, 5, whatever it is. For example, critical, security, definition, all that, whatever you want it. And later point also you can change it. We'll come back and we'll change that later point. And also if you see here, this is very important. Like if you don't want a specific KB to be installed, just enter the KB number so that it will not install if you choose the exclude. And if you choose as only to be approved patches to be installed, then you can more explicitly configure your KB article numbers. So in our case we don't have anything, so I'm just clicking OK. Now the schedule time comes. This is very interesting that whatever the time it is showing, that's your current logged on server's specific time zone. Definitely, so it's my time zone here, and I can choose the, even if I want time zone specific to your specific time or any of the time zones, and I can just take for maybe 10-15 minutes extra time before this demo to complete. And I can choose here one time or recurring, like recurs every weekly, daily, monthly, the way you want it. You have all possible options, trust me. And you see here weekly, monthly, hourly. And also if you just go to the weekdays like second Thursday or second Tuesday or second Wednesday, you can configure such configuration, or monthly on specific date, or no matter what date it is, or what day it is actually, but the date, if it that date belongs, then it gets pushed. So all that options you have, let's say, these are the possible options which I'm trying to show you as part of this demo, like what kind of options we have, like second, maybe a Wednesday, or I can go for and apply all the patches. And you can also set expansion date or first, all that, monthly, all possible options you have. And once you have configured your schedule settings, you can continue further for the pre and post configuration actions to be performed. Let's say within this pre scripts or the post scripts, you wanted to execute some PowerShell script so that it's going to stop some of the SQL services properly before patches gets applied. It will move your nodes from one cluster to another cluster, or it might put into a maintenance mode so that you can go for the patch management. Like that, actions, you can put it into the pre and post actions. The post is maybe a success to be start kind of thing. So you can put it all the script. So in our case, I don't have anything, so I'll just click OK or cancel. And this is the maintenance window. If you see here, the last 30 minutes or less than 30 minutes time it will take for the actual approved maintenance window for rebooting. The last 20 minutes maintenance window is dedicated for a machine to restart. And these are the maintenance window specific settings. So here if you are trying to configure the specific time, let's say 120 minutes, that's 2 hours. So from 12 a.m. to 12 a.m. to 2 hours, which is till 2 p.m. 2 a.m. I'm sorry, it's till 2 a.m. it's going to apply the patches. And for the reboot, you have the options for no reboot, always reboot, but will not install updates. So you have the options. You can choose whatever the option is applicable or required as per your change management process. And once you have done, just click on create. That creates this deployment. So what happened is, in the background now, we click on this button to create the schedule, and that schedule will be available here in a minute. So you see here the schedule deployment is created. So I need to wait for that time to trigger, and once that time reach, the machine gets install all these patches, and I should be able to see in history. So let's click on maybe deployment schedules, or if you want to manage any of the manage machines, so you have here also the option. Like these options are reporting for the log analytics specific service. So it might take 15 minutes before this data to appear into the dashboard. So you want this to be reported and on all available machines, or just for a specific machines, or in the future machines kind of configuration can be enabled. So in our case, it's a default configuration which is already available, and I'll be choosing the enable on all VMs. So I'll just close this button, or it gets changed in the backend. So that's good. uh, and next step would be to go back to the deployment schedule. So here you see here whatever we have created, like monthly updates, it's there, and the next time it's going to run is 8:15 a.m. it's going to run uh, on this specific of the machine. Is just the one machine, and one time, it's not going to be recursive, and the schedule maintenance window is 120 minutes. That's good configuration. So we'll wait for another 120 minutes to get the status back. So if I want to change, what if you can just click on that and do any of the changes. Let's say I want to change maybe a classification, like everything to be install example, just it's a test. So I can go here and configure, and post to this the patch management configuration part is done. I have to wait. So the similar things I can do it for other machine also. So we worked with the one of the automated account or automation account. Now we're going to work with other automation account where we have the Linux as well as the Windows box. So I'll just go to operations. I'm sorry, under operations again, update management here, and here it should list actually two of them. One is the Linux as well as the Windows. So I'll just click on server so that I can run the log analytic query, like required patches, like 4 patches which are missing for server 2012. So that's okay. I can show you the same information from GUI. That's showing good. So these 4 patches are missing, and these are more about the Windows Server 2012 specific, if you see here, because the operating system is 2012. And as a next step, I would be creating the schedule updates, and the similar fashion, similar steps I have to do it. So I'll just click on that and give whatever the name you wanted to give here, a meaningful name, and then choose the operating system, like in this case the definitely Windows, and click on configure. And here I can choose maybe all, but this time I wanted to show you the uh, apply. Yeah, let's go for the only subscription based with the filter. And then again you can go for the, if you have imported from the WSS or AD or SCCM in this case, you can choose this. But in our case, just the machines. So I'll just take the filter as a machines. So it will list as the server 05. All I have to do is I'll just click on that. So it selected this, and as a next step I can click OK, and I can choose the required update. So this time I will select everything, and the include and exclude buttons are the same, and time zone and time specific settings, all that can be configured. So I'll just give here another 5 minutes or 10 minutes extra so that this demo can work. So one time I'm choosing as actually very normal specific schedules. There's no custom specific, no pre or post or scripts. I wanted to reboot. Definitely always gets rebooted, or reboot if really required. Create. So this gets created. Now as a next step, again deployment schedule and then history. So under deployment, it just got created and it's able to show you server 5 schedule. For the maintenance window, I have to wait for a few minutes. So I'll be waiting, and I have waited close to half an hour, 1 hour plus time, and then I'm able to go back and show you the status. So you see here the overview is completely showing for us as the completed on 2 computers. So let's go to the updates management. You see here update management, and you should be able to see here for a single machine it's fully compliant. And if I click on that, again the same log analytic query, so I don't want to do that. Now missing is 0 completely. Deployed schedules is one of the schedule and which has run already successfully. But if I just go back to that same deployment, I can edit if I really wanted for the future, and I can click on history to view the updates. So I'll be showing that history for other machine. That's okay, just go to the updates management directly this time, and then this server also got updated completely successfully. So from the update management, I can see here 2 machines, in this case Linux and the server 5, both are compliant, and history is showing as the deployment is successful. And if I click on that deployment, what all the patches has been, whether it is failed, if so it will be listed here, all or 0, that means 0 failed, and attempted, not attempted is 0, that means nothing has been done as a failure, but everything got installed. It got installed completely on all the machines. So that's a good method of deploying. So all the patches got installed. So this is all about the demonstration of the patch management, how best you can manage the patches from Microsoft Azure, and this is how you can secure and you can take the advantage of the existing automation account as a benefit. I hope this entire demo is completely useful for you. Thank you for watching this. I will be catching you in the next lecture.